So anyway, students, again, formally, I am welcoming you. So this is our very first lesson in our topic on research. Okay. So here it goes then. I would be sharing to you my screen. Evidently in here, you can tell that there are some things or pointers on the image itself which might portray or which might give you an idea how research goes, di ba? Paano siya in-execute. And therefore, by implication, you are seeing these pictures such as charts, may mga file sharing, di ba, may data analysis, and may mga makikita kayong mga innovative icons, some things that are very iconic when it comes to research itself. So let's proceed then. So the very first module for our research this third quarter would be the nature of inquiry and research. Yan. So those are the two words which are being taken for granted at first hand, di ba? So to proceed with, let us differentiate first the nature of inquiry itself to the research. So let's start off with the word nature of inquiry. So by simple inquiry itself, it can be said, di ba, that all things root out from the man's curiosity to discover new things of helping themselves. Diba? Bakit nagkakaroon ng mga innovation? Bakit nagkakaroon ng mga tinatawag nating mga great inventions, diba, na nakatulong sa tao? It's because there's a call for need and there's a call for inquiry, diba? Diyan nag-uumpisa yung tinatawag nilang curiosity. Yan. And when we talk about research, in very simple words, yan yung systematically coming up with a solution to a certain problem, di ba? Tandaan nyo, walang kwentang research kapag walang kwenta yung problem. It all starts with the problem itself, di ba? Kaya nga, ang isang thesis or research, nagiging invalidate siya when it comes to the point na kung invalid rin yung title niya mismo, di ba? If it's like giving you a run around, if you're just, let's say, beating around the bush, not getting points straightened out, so yun, magiging invalid yung research mo. Because yung mga data mo, hindi magiging ganun ka-compact, and you would never ever come up with a, let's say, a best possible or plausible solution for a certain problem, di ba? And one more thing, you cannot be able to recommend anything sa mga susunod na researchers then. Okay? This learning research hopes to engage the learners into guided and independent learning activities. Ayan, at their own pace and time. So furthermore, this also aims to help learners acquire the need for the 21st century skills while taking into consideration their needs and circumstances. So after going through this module, you are then expected to, number one, share the experiences and knowledge that you were able to gain, and number two, explain the importance of research in daily lives. Yan. So napaka-basic lang naman ang mga yan. And of course, it is expected for you to describe the characteristics, processes, and ethics of research itself. Diba? Such a, ano yan, a very heavy word, diba? Ethics of research. And number four, you should also be able to differentiate, diba, quantitative from qualitative research. Diba? Yung mga sinasabi nilang quantitative tsaka qualitative daw na research. And not least, also to provide examples of research in areas of interest. Okay? So in this part of the module, may kita nyo dyan may naka-highlight na dilaw. So it is therefore expected that you will copy this on your notebook and it will be submitted with your answers on your activity. But anyway, pahapyawan natin yan. Okay? So it's being said in here, Is research really that necessary? All right. So let's find out on this next passage, okay? So let us proceed in here. It is being described as a careful, systematic, and patient study and investigation in some field of knowledge. Diba? It's being undertaken to establish facts or principles. In other words, research is a structured inquiry that utilizes acceptable scientific methodology. So, gumagamit siya ng scientific methods. And to solve problems and create new knowledge that is generally applicable. I'll repeat, only if it's generally applicable. Ba? So, one best example of this one, like I'd like to share this with you. There are actually some scientists who are engaged into certain research right now. Binubuhay nila yung mga genes ng mga extinct lang dinosaurs. Ayan, hindi nyo alam yun, no? Yeah, binubuhay nila ulit yung tatawag natin genome or gene pool ng mga extinct ng mga hayop just to try out if they could like recreate life on their own, di ba? Because life in itself, sabi ng iba, procreation daw. Iba naman, spontaneous. Diba? But this kind of scientists, they try to develop organisms from test tubes and other organic material. Now, diba? It poses the question, do you think that is generally applicable to the certain condition that we are in right now? Do you think that those kind of living things are, let's say, is still valid to the society, diba? Gaano nating kakailangan yung mga ganong klaseng bagay. But it's also a field of science. It's also a field of research, diba? But what we're focusing in here, diba? Kaya nga may word na practical yon. Doon papasok yung kalituhan. Kasi po, the very first thing that you need to know in doing a research 101, ano yon? That should be a practical research. Diba? Kaya nga practical eh. Oh. Scientific methods consist of systematic observation, classification, and interpretation of data. It is important because A, it can expand knowledge and new discoveries. Letter B, it can help us look for ways to allocate scarce resources. Ano ibig sabihin ng scarce resources? Yan yung mga resources na bihira na nating matake advantage. Yan. Halimbawa, yung fossil fuels, di ba? It's coming to the tip of its scarcity. Ibig sabihin, magiging classified siya as a non-renewable source of energy someday. Di ba? Bakit? Kasi, mas mataas yung rate ng consumption kaysa production niya. Di ba? And it was proven by research then. And letter C, it can develop critical thinking and analysis skills. Sabi ni Kuthari last 2002. Thus, it is necessary that in conducting research, there are certain ethical principles. I'll repeat, we must consider ethical principles that a researcher should possess to ensure important moral and social values. So, ibig sabihin, you cannot just go on and test with anything and everything that you like, diba? Gusto mong may subukan kang gamot sa certain, let's say, project na ginagawa mo, ituturok mo na ituturok sa mga aso, sa mga pusa, sa mga daga. Just like that. Diba? You cannot do that. You have to observe proper ethical, moral, and social values in the pursuit of your practical research. Diba? And foremostly, you must possess honesty, syempre, objectivity, morality, integrity, carefulness, openness, respect to intellectual property, confidentiality, responsible publication, legitimacy, and anti-discrimination. Now, to begin with, let us proceed then. Yeah, on our next page then, if the researcher possesses honesty, he or she does not fabricate, falsify, or misrepresent data. All right, so let's go to that part then. Hold on. So there are two approaches or processes to research, namely quantitative and qualitative researches, diba? So on the quantitative research, it's a kind of research which is being based on collecting and analyzing numerical data. It concentrates on measuring the scale, the range, and frequency of phenomena, among other factors. And on the other hand, qualitative research is more subjective in nature because it involves examining and reflecting on the less tangible aspects of a research, such as values, attitudes, and perceptions. Okay, so let us proceed then to the very heart of our activity proper. So in here, on our activity 1.1, let's compare and contrast. You can see in here on the instructions that you have to identify, okay? You have to identify the similarities and differences of quantitative approach from a qualitative approach through a Venn diagram. Now, how would you do that? On the left side, you can see in there the quantitative research, and on the right side, you can see the qualitative research. There is this intersection in between them. That is the part where you have to write their similarities. Yan, very good. Thanks for catching me on that one. So, here is the rubric for the activity. So, kasama po dyan yung tinatawag nating comprehensiveness of information and ideas, and syempre your grammatical use, structure, especially the spelling of the words. Remember, the subject research is wholly dependent on English as its let's say medium of instruction. Okay, so it's only inclusive and exclusive to what? To the English, let's say, rudiment. Yan. Kapag nagpapaliwanag kayo, pwede naman kayo magtagalog, pwede nga Bisaya. Kahit sign language, basta maintindihan kayo, ha. Pero, in the writings and on the paper itself, you should express yourselves in English, okay? In good English, to be precise. Ayan. Well, in the activity 1.2, tell what you've got. Now, answer the following questions based on what you have understood in the above article. Okay? So, never hesitate to, let's say, read back and look back at the explanations on the upper part of your modules. Diba? Nakasulat lang naman dyan sa number 1. What is research? Now, there are actually multiple lines. So, it's up to you. If you would give me a lousy one-sentence answer, or let's say an amazing, full comprehensive answer covering all of those blanks, okay? Number 2, is research important to our daily lives? If yes, how? So that's how it goes then. And number 3, based on your own understanding, how does research affect the lives of every individual? How does it affect our studies? Society, I'm sorry. Yan. So, very easy, diba? So, that is the end of your module. So, just a brief overview then. If you would try to take a look at it, as of now, it only comprises of 4 pages. So, I don't believe that that would consume a lot of your time then. And I am expecting that everyone will be able to submit their tasks on time. Later, after I am able to finish everything, I will upload your activities, and you can seek out through your Google Classrooms and be able to answer them appropriately. Okay, So you do have a great day then and stay safe.